Good morning. So today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about what we do, what our platform offers, and hopefully, showing you what we can do for you, how we can assist you and your students in the Cambridge English exam preparation. Okay, so I'll go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so if that's okay with you, the way I usually like to do it is show you all the tools that we have available for students, then show you a little bit what teachers can do with the platform, and then, of course, what admins, what tools admins have access to. Our platform offers almost 5,000 activities, interactive activities, yeah? So there's a huge repository of content. As Gerald said a minute ago, many schools use the platform alone in academies, the platform alone. Some others use it only for exam preparation. So the idea is that the platform adapts to your needs and not the other way around. So when a student first enters the platform, I am going to be showing you the current platform, and I am going to be telling you a little bit about the new features that we're going to be launching soon, because we're launching an updated version of the platform soon. So it's going to be a little bit of both. So when a student first enters the platform, something that you should really take into consideration is that students do not have access to one level alone. They will have access to all the levels from pre-A1 starters up to C2 proficiency. The idea is that, you may be preparing a student for B2, like first for school's exam, but they may need to revise some B1 concepts. And so you may want to leave both levels open for that student. Or, you may have a classroom with, variety. And so, the idea is that you can really adapt, customize the platform so that it really, adapts to your needs. So let me show you what a level offers. So I'm going to get into the B2 first level. Okay, this is, as you can see here, the main menu. It's expanded. I'm going to close it so that we have more space. So this is a menu bar students have access to, and it takes them to all the different types of practice and resources that they have access to. So the first one is the practice exercises. So our platform not only offers, as I mentioned before, almost 5,000 activities, interactive activities, but it also offers practice on all 4 skills, okay? So reading and use of English, writing, listening, and speaking. Most of the platform of the activities self-correct. So all reading and use of English and listening self-correct, okay? So, which is actually the majority of the exercises. So let's get, for example, into reading and use of English. So, as you can see, for each one of the parts, yes, B2 first is divided into reading and use of English into 7 parts. We have 20 exercises per part per level. So this means that in this section alone, which is the practice exercises section, students have access to 20 complete exams, okay? All the content is original. We have a group of authors that collaborate with us and with publishers for exam preparation and so on, and they are the ones who create the content for us. So let me show you, for example, I like part 5 because I can show you different things. So when you click on an exercise in particular, you can see the instructions. You can always print out the exercises. This is really important because you may want to, work, or you may not want your students to always work on devices. Sometimes you may want them, to print out the activities. So you can do that. And the timer in this section in particular is optional. It's not in other sections, but in this one in particular it is. So as you know, in part 5, students will have to read the text and then click on the correct answers for each one of the questions. So I am going to just guess, as I usually do. Not very successfully, by the way, but okay. So once students have, chosen their answers, they are going to, let me just hide this. Okay. They're going to scroll all the way down where there's a check button. So if they click on it, the platform will, I told you, I did not do well. So the platform will give them a score right away. So what happens when the student gets a score, either from the platform or from his or her teacher, two things happen actually at the same time. One of them is that the score becomes part of the student's analytics. I am going to get into that in a minute, but you should know that our analytics is one of the most important things in the platform, because you can really, they show you exactly when a student is ready to pass their exam. And this is, I think, something really, really important. And it's also sent to the teacher so that you can follow up on your students' progress, okay? So as you can see, the button has changed now and it says show correct answers. So if I click on it, as you can see, the platform will show me what the correct answers were, okay? So, and there's also something new here. As you can see, a Y button that wasn't here a minute ago. So if I click on the Y button, the platform is going to highlight the section of the text that the question is referencing. So just to tell you a little bit about the new platform, we've included AI feedback in the new platform. So when the students click on the Y button, it will not only show you what part of the text the question is referencing, but it will also tell the student why their answer was incorrect and why the correct answer is in fact correct, okay? So this is for reading and use of English. Let me show you a little bit about the listening section. Listening, as I mentioned before, also self-corrects, 20 exercises per part again, and students will just listen to an audio. You know, the look and feel of the platform is the same as the look and feel that students will, see in the Cambridge exams. The idea is that, students get the chance to practice with a platform that looks exactly like the real exams over and over, so that when they get to the real experience, they will not be, anxious, and, they be ready for it. So again, instructions, possibility of printing out the activity, of using a timer. Students will listen to an audio and will, choose their answers. Once they finish, again, they click on check, the platform will give them a score. So what have we done with writing and speaking? Let me show you. As I mentioned before, students can practice all 4 skills in our platform. So I'll just click on any of them. They will, see the prompt. They will enter their text. Here they have a word counter, just like in the in the real exams, and they cannot copy and paste. Yeah, we've blocked this option because schools and academies were telling us that students were using ChatGPT and AI, and so we had to block that. But they will be able to type in their answers and save and send it to their teachers. Once teachers receive the answer, they can, of course, mark it, give feedback, and send it to their students. Then we have speaking activities as well. Let me show you one. And I am going to tell you about the new features because there's a lot going on in the speaking department. So in this section, students will listen to a question, and they'll be able to record themselves by clicking on the record button. So once they're finished recording, they can stop recording, listen to themselves. If they're happy with their answer, they can just, continue, move on to the next question. Otherwise, they can record themselves again. And I mentioned there's a few changes here. So one of them is the new updated version of the platform allows for individual work and pair work. To make the experience as similar as the real one as possible, and so they'll be able to either work by themselves or with a classmate, and the process has been automatized, so students will not have to scroll down from one question to another. The platform will automatically take the student from one question to another. So it's more similar to like a real conversation in which they listen to and see a video, because in the new version of the platform, the questions are not like written prompts or audio prompts, they're videos. So they will watch a video, with the question, and then they will be able to record themselves, and then, the platform will take them directly to the next question. So there's a lot of new features in the speaking section in particular. Okay, so this is all part of the practice exercises section, but I mentioned there's other types of practice as well. So the next type of practice is the practice tests. So what this is I would say like a hybrid between the mock exams and the practice exercises. Why? Because what students can do here is create mini mock exams per skill. So if you don't want to do a whole mock exam, which you have in the platform as well, you can just do like a mini mock exam for like, I don't know, reading and use of English. So if you unblock the practice tests section, your students will be able to click on, for example, reading and use of English, and the platform will take activities from the practice exercises section and create a mini test. Let me show you. I have one that's already started. So as you can see, I think I have to share. Can you see my the future library screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Thank you. So as you can see, I have all 7 parts of reading and use of English, and the platform has created a mini mock exam only for this skill. It will give students enough time to do the whole section, and here students have a pause and continue later option. So if you don't have enough time to do the practice test in one day, students will be able to pause it and continue it a different one. So they'll be able to just answer to the different questions and move, like navigate through the different parts of the test. And then the next section we have for students is the mock exams section. So there are 3 full mock exams available in the platform. Well, not full. They do not include speaking in this version of the platform, but it does include speaking in the new version, the updated version of the platform that we're launching. Just because usually teachers prefer to do that like face-to-face, and so, but since some of our academies and schools have, requested the speaking section to be included, we have. Something important in regards to this section is that our authors have created 3 new mock exams per level. Okay, so the idea is for schools and academies that prepare their students over the course of 2 academic years that they have a different set of mock exams each year. So you will have this set until the new platform is launched. Once it is launched, then you will have access to a different set of 3 mock exams, and we will alternate them every year. Then there's an exam information section, which is actually very handy because usually teachers, they have to gather all the information, send it to their students and their families. Well, the platform has done this for you. So, students can have access. I'm in the B2 level now. So if I click on general, I will have access to general information in regards to B2 first, and then information per skill, with total amount of time, parts, marks, etc. And finally, there's an exam support section. The idea is that you don't need to, look for extra resources from other, books, platforms. The idea is that you have all you need within the same, environment. And so we offer this exam support and methodology section where you can find, and your students can find, all the use of English needed in order to pass the exam. So if I click on, for example, vocabulary, the human body, you will see that on the left-hand side of the screen, you have all the theory, and on the right side of the screen, you have all the practice. This all self-corrects. It doesn't give the student a mark per se, because this is not exam practice. It's just, use of English. But the idea is that the student can, do these activities over and over again until they're happy with, their progress and they've learned it. This section reminds me a bit of, the Murphy books or the Michael Vince books in terms of layout and content. So you have all the vocabulary, as I mentioned, all the grammar. So I mentioned that students can, I was going to show you all the tools available for students. Students can also, follow up on their own progress. So as you can see here, all these tools here are tools that students have access to, to see, what they've done, how they're doing. So let me show you a little bit. So if I go into the practice exercises section, as you can see, I can have more than one level open as a student. So I'm going to get into the B2 first. So let's say I want to see, what reading and use of English activities I've done. I can just click on here and the platform will show me exercises, dates, and marks per part. So if I've done an activity more than once, as you can see here with exercise 1, the platform will show me, and it will show me and you as a teacher what grade I got or what mark I got each time. All the marks in our platform are aligned with the Cambridge English marking scheme, okay? That is really important to know. So I can click on a particular activity, see, how I solved it, see the feedback I got. As you can see in the writing section, some of the activities have been corrected. This one in pink hasn't, is pending correction. So as soon as my teacher corrects this activity, I'll be able to see the mark and the feedback that my teacher gives me. Same with practice tests. If I click on practice tests here, I can click on level, and I will see my latest exam mark achieved, the CFR grade I'm in, and if I click on, for example, use of English, the platform will show me, in this case, I've done 2 practice tests of reading and use of English. So the progress, as you can say, is like a flat line, which I always say is not good when you're, in a hospital, but it's good when you're here because it means that, the progress in this case, the student has got very good grades in both tests. And if I click on one of the tests, the platform will show me the overall score, CFR grade, level, score, the time spent in the test, when the test was started, when it was finished. I can print out, or you as a teacher can print out a PDF report, and then I can click on, for example, part 2 and see, how it was solved. And one of the most important sections of the platform, and I did mention this at the beginning of the meeting, is the analytics section, because this can really help teachers and students see exactly how they're doing and in what areas they need improvement. Let me show you. So let's choose the B2 first for schools level. So the platform will show me the latest global exam mark achieved. So how does the platform get this mark? What it does is it takes each exercise, like the latest exercise from each part and each skill, and it takes it as a latest exam. And so this is like a real time, information that, pretty much tells you what the student's mark would be today if they were to, see the exam. It shows you the CFR grade, the progress. So I know that I have 478 activities available in this level. I've only done 10%, 47 activities. From those 47 activities, I've passed 40, and I have 7 under the pass mark. Then I can go from the more general information to the more specific ones. So I can get into, for example, use of English. And as you can see here, the platform will show you the percentage of correct answers that you have in each one of the skills. So if I were to look at this, I would probably tell my students, if we were close to the exam date, to work on their writing skills a little bit more, as I can see that he or she is doing very well in the rest of them. So if I click on, for example, use of English, the platform will give me all the information regarding this skill. So I can see that there are, like, even though the success rate is very good, because like this student or myself have passed all the activities, I've only done 10 of them. So there's a lot of work to do. And then I can click on, for example, part 4 and see all the analytics for this part in particular, right? So again, I've only done 3 activities. I've passed them all. And I can see, well, this is the demo account, but, the platform usually shows you the chart, showing you the progress of each one of the activities done in this part in particular. So this is all information that students and teachers have access to. In the new platform, there's even more analytics, more reports. In fact, you can choose between average and latest reports, so it's even better. So these are all tools that students have. Now, what about teachers? What tools do teachers have access to? Well, teachers have access to, of course, their classrooms. So let me show you. There's messages, there's a notebook. These are pretty common tools amongst, the different platforms. So I'm not going to get into that unless you want me to in the Q&A section. But let me show you the classrooms. So as a teacher, I can see all my classrooms and I can really customize, personalize each one of them. So for example, remember the practice tests, these mini mock exams that I mentioned? Well, if I click on here, I can block them. If I click again, I can, give access to this classroom in particular to them. So it's very easy to set up. Practice exercises. If I click on practice exercises, the platform will show me all the exercises available per level so that I can, either block or give access to my students. So as you can see here, by selecting any exam level, paper, or exercise number, you are blocking the access to all students in this classroom. So let's say I want to block A2 key. I just click on it and I'll be blocking the entire level. But let's say I don't want to block the entire level. I can just unfold here and I can block, for example, reading and use of English, or I may want to block only part 1 of reading and use of English, or only exercise 2. No? So as you can see, it's very easy to, like, the user experience is very, very good. Same with correct answers. I may not want my students to have access to the correct answers. In that case, I would just click on block access to correct answers. And, I would be, well, of course, blocking it. Now, if I click on the classroom itself, let's go here. I have more students here. Okay, if I click on the classroom, as you can see, there are classroom options, right? So if I click on practice exercises, there are different options here. The first one says completed exercises per student. So if I click on this option, the platform will show me a graph with, that tells me, how many exercises each one of my students has done. Then I can, of course, get access to the latest results and download the report. So as you can see here, I have the latest exercises completed in this classroom per student, okay? And then I can, of course, get into the mock exams and set this up. So by default, the mock exams will be blocked, but if I get into the exam settings, I can unblock the mock exams that I want. So I'm here in the C2 proficiency level. I may want to unblock exam number 2. I just click on it and students will have access to it. And I can click on the results and students will have access not only to the exam, but also the exam results. And then, as you can see here, I have a list of the students that I have in the classroom, and I have options, right? So I can have access to each one of my students completed exercises, their practice tests, their analytics, as I showed you before, their mock exams, their list of logins, and their settings. So if I needed to change my student's password, for example, I could just come here and change it. You would not need to contact, us, which you could do, of course, and we would be happy to assist you with this. But you could do it yourself, like very quickly from your teacher's account. In the new platform, there's a whole set of new options for teachers to personalize each one of their classrooms, so they can, as I mentioned, in the new platform, there are videos, in the speaking section, so students can either block or give access to the subtitles in the videos. They can also block or give access to the pause and continue later button that I showed you in the practice test section. So there's a whole new set of options there. So these are tools that teachers have access to. So what about the admins, the administrators of the schools? Well, in the current version of the platform, we can have one admin per school. In the updated version of the platform, you can have more than one admin per school. So let's say that you want one of your teachers to have access to the admin tools to help you, with the admin tasks. Well, you can create, extra admin accounts for that. And something that I believe is really, really important is, and is one of the admin tools, is a school page tool. So here, what you can do is personalize your students' access so that it matches your brand, your academy. So in this case, well, Cambridge MB. So you can personalize the URL. In this case, it's CMB. I created it. .englishexamslab.com. So this means that if you type in cmb.englishexamslab.com, you will have access to a personalized website that I'm going to show you in a minute. You can also add your logo. You can add a background picture. We've just left the one that comes by default, but you could change it. So let me show you the preview. If you enter cmb.englishexamslab.com, this is what you would see. So in like a matter of like 5 minutes, you would be able to personalize our platform so that your students have access to like a customized version of it. So this, I believe, is very interesting. And something that you should also take into consideration is that the onboarding, like not only the user experience is like excellent, but also the onboarding process is really easy. We try to, of course, we always offer training sessions for the teachers and admins so that they can, they get to know all the tools, how the platform works, what it offers. But also we send you an Excel sheet that you can complete with your teachers and students' information. And we upload all the information onto the platform and create the classes so that when you or your students have access to the platform, everything is set up. You don't have to do anything on your own, even though you can. I mean, with your admin accounts, you can create accounts. You can, of course, create classrooms, but we usually do it for our schools and academies so that it's a bit easier. I hope I didn't go too fast. I wanted to go through all the main, like the key points.